record. That would have been disastrous. Right. So we are recording. So this is September 13th, 2017 team meeting. So I want to start off. Tonight because let's call what it is. We had Irma come through, and Lindsay is still stranded and stuck in Jacksonville. So she can't make it here because her cars are parked. The family cars are parked at a parking garage, which is in downtown, but all the streets are flooded and there's no Ubers or Lyfts allowed in the city. So she is stuck in Jackson. I haven't really seen her in about 2 weeks. Really, I saw her for one day. It was like a half a night. So I really haven't really seen my fiance in a while. And so we all have some sort of like circumstance or some sort of situation, whether it be a house or a power outage or a car. One of the trainees had some debris crush his windshield in. I mean, there's some stuff that there's no doubt about it that Irma has created for us. But I want to kind of direct the focus because right now there's two different approaches that we could take to the whole situation. And I think about I was trying to think of the best way to explain this to you. So I dug into some podcasts, I read some books, and I thought about one of the biggest and best examples that I can give you of a business, if you will, that overcame and developed itself through unforeseen, crazy, unjust circumstances. And that business and this entrepreneurial venture started 240 years ago. And this was an unjust situation. So this business thought it was appropriate to align themselves. There was a lot of hatred in this room. And what made me think of this, because I was in the city of where it took place in Philadelphia. And I was standing in this place at Independence Hall when this conversation went down with a bunch of people who did not like one another, but they all had like-minded. They were all like-minded. They had an equal vision. And if you're a history buff, you know where I'm going with this. Is they were sitting in this room saying, we are not going to leave this room until we align and figure out how we are going to take this business, this entrepreneurial venture, to a place that we feel is the right way to raise our people or team members in. And as I was preparing for this, I was thinking they created a document. Who knows what that document's called?
Declaration of Independence. Yeah.
And that document, the Declaration of Independence, people, they saw obstacles. They saw a lot of challenges, but they created this vision. And what was that vision? The vision is that they wanted to make sure that all men are created equal and that they're endowed with the opportunity for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And even though it was an unattainable vision, it's still to this day, 240 years later, it's not tangible. It's something that they built their business on. The principles they built the business on. That's what mattered. And we as a people, as a unit, come together, and when we are at our best is when we align with the vision that those men put together 240 years ago. I posted to my TLA group about 9/11, which is appropriate on Monday. And so I don't even know if all of you were born in 9/11. I don't think you were born, but I don't know. So I just remember being in high school when that took place. I remember when over the loudspeakers when 9/11 took place, and they said, state of emergency, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center building. And then they said another announcement, state of emergency, a second plane crashed. And a lot of my classmates had family members in those buildings, people that worked in the city. So my mom picked me up from school. We went over to Keyport, and I took a picture of you could see the skyline, the smoke that went into New Jersey across the bay. And I remember so many friends losing family members during this time frame. But I also remember the country coming together, and there were more American flags sold than I ever remember in my entire life. There was more American pride of aligning with this all men created equal creed that was created 240 years ago, where love thy neighbor was actually a thing, where no one saw a race or a color of skin or people with disabilities differently. we were all one under one vision, one mission, and that was the pursuit of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, which was created in this room 240 years ago. And that day, 9/11, just took place. And some people say it's the past, it's no big deal. But other people say, you know what, it's a reminder of strength, of moral courage, of leadership, of camaraderie. And I think anytime there's a moment of truth, a moment of challenge, is a moment of opportunity. And there is not many of those moments that we get a chance in life to emerge as leaders. And I'm standing before you as just another person that's dealing with stuff, just like you're dealing with stuff. But we as a team can actually come up from the ashes of what was considered Irma and be leaders as long as we align with the reasons of why we chose to do this in the first place. You think you're here because you want to sell knives. In some cases, that's true. But in many cases, that is not the reason, that is not the vision, that is not the mission, that is not why you showed up tonight. That is not why you're listening. You're here for very similar principles of what happened 240 years ago, that we see a brighter future. We see something that is beyond the current circumstance. We see as leaders in this business that we not only can create growth for ourselves, but we have a chance to change the lives of those others in our peer group. By us performing and developing ourselves as leaders, by growing compassion for other people, by learning and evolving as better communicators and influencers, we're going to go start businesses because of the experience that we're going to learn here, and provide jobs to other people, and provide care to those in need. And we're going to provide resources to less fortunate. That's why we're doing what we're doing. This is a playground for us to hone in our skills and learn how to become better leaders while also giving that opportunity to more people. That's why we're doing this. Those are our ideals. And this moment right now, through this disaster, we have a chance to prove that that is true. This is our 9/11, if you will. And we could easily back down. We could easily crumble. We could say, you know what, we'll just wait this thing out. There's always two ways to respond. We could respond with the rest, or we could respond with the best. I would like to enroll you and invite you and encourage you to respond with the best. And tonight is about, what does that look like? How could I inspire you to say, you know what? I'd like to choose a positive response to this situation. Even though my parents are super victim mentality, even though your girlfriend or fiance might be really pissed off with certain things. But I choose to respond and find the positive in the situation and be a leader for those that might not want to be led, but I'm choosing to lead them anyway. Even though there was hatred in that room, they said, you know what, there's a greater good that's outside of this current situation, and I owe it to my truth and myself and my mission and my vision. I've got to make this work. We don't need to think together. We don't need to think alike, but we need to think together. My objective tonight is to enroll you, and to help you guys see why we're doing what we're doing, to help you find your truth through this process and move forward. Many of you already have. I think about the Amandas and Ellas. Ellas sold $1,100 today. I think about Amanda. How many PRs did you send out today? Over 10 people set up for interviews. I mean, I just think about, there are people, and I'm sure there's more examples. I know Connor set up 3 appointments. I know Tyler was doing his thing, setting up some appointments and PRs. I know there's situations. I know there's circumstances. I don't know them all because I haven't been here. I just know what I've been informed of. But I am saying that the sooner that we move forward as a team, not just as individuals, is the sooner we're going to be able to have a shot at $1 million. We have a shot at a silver cup. We have a shot at something that is absolutely great. I'll tell you right now, it's not that important to me, because here's what's going to happen. Say we hit $1 million this year. Say we win a silver cup. Say we're the talk of the town and we're like the hot stuff, and people, oh my gosh, Clearwater, the underdog story was great. You know, Maybe there's a parade for us. Maybe there's not, you know. But eventually it's going to wear away. Now how long that will last? A couple days, couple weeks, maybe. By March, April, definitely by summer. I mean, no one's going to remember anything. No one's going to remember $1 million. No one's going to remember Silver Cup. No one. If I had to ask you who won the Super Bowl 12 years ago, you know, it's like we would really have to think. Some of us, we'd have to think 2 years ago, maybe even last year. But last year was a pretty good game. But we're all, I hate them, but it's fine. But the bottom line is the success eventually fades. And so does the failure too. Let's face it. How many times have we lost the game and it hurts for a moment, but eventually that pain wears away too. So the pain of success or the pain of failure or the celebration of success, both of them will wear away with time. So that's not what we're chasing. We're chasing something greater. What we're chasing, and from what I really want, is I want each of you to win the inner game. That's what I want. I want you to find inner strength. I want you to find inner courage. I want you to win the inner battle that you are probably going through right now in this very moment of should I or should I not? Should I listen to those people that are saying, you don't understand, this is like, you can't go back to work. Nobody wants to be bothered with knives right now. Nobody wants to be bothered with you or your goals, and no one cares about that. They're dealing with their own stuff. Or listen to the should I say, you know what? People need a positive distraction right now. I could be that for them. I could be the highlight of the day for them. I could help them maybe even do X, Y, Z that they maybe can't do. You know what? I can respect the law of reciprocation where if I give, I'll receive. I can actually do something. And that's the inner game that we have a chance to win right now. There's not many moments in life where you have a job, where you have a chance to win the inner game. Maybe with some sports, maybe athletics, maybe academics, maybe music, but with a job, not many times. That's why we're here. This isn't just a job to you. You care about this more than you would care about a job. But we got to act that way. Our actions need to follow through with what the vision is. And right now, if we don't, if we stay stagnant, if we stay complacent, if we stay immobile for 2, for 3, 4 weeks, we stall. When we stall, it's very, very tough to start moving it forward again. How many of us have ever started a diet and stalled the diet for 4 weeks? It's not even a diet anymore. It's not even stalling the diet. It's you regressed into the old you. I had this conversation. I don't remember. I think it was with my brother, my coach. I don't remember who I was talking to. I had this conversation with them. I said, it is so, it was dangerous. It was a conversation. It was a story that I realized that I told myself that the story that and I'm going to be vulnerable. Not many people know this. Actually, Andrew's the only one that knows this. The 2 stories that I uncovered or discovered as I was having a conversation with him from very deep into my subconscious is that 2 things. Is that it's very difficult to lose weight, and money is something that is something. Money is hard to come by. I think those are the 2 stories that I was telling myself that I uncovered. I didn't know I had those stories, but like after conversation and dialogue, I realized that I had those 2 stories, which is why I hold on to those 2 things. Like that I'm emotionally attached to them. And so I rewrote the story instead of saying losing weight is really tough to do and money is tough to come by, changing the story to money is actually very easy to come by when I put the actions and I put things into effect. And it's actually very easy to lose weight with simple habits and rituals and routines in place. Just like something simple like that. My question is what's the story that you're telling yourself right now when it comes to your business? Is a story buried deep in your conscious? Is it people don't want to be bothered with me or my phone calls or my appointment? Or is the story that people will get inspired by my story, by my appointment, and they'll be inspired by a young entrepreneur that is looking to make an impact for myself and for those people around me? If you don't stand on a principle, you will fall for everybody else's. We've got to stand strong if we want to win the inner game. And that's what I want for each of you guys. I want you to win the inner game. Many of you have heard this study before. Before I transition in this study, any light bulbs, takeaways, thoughts from just to kind of come up for air for after talking for about 20 minutes now. Just to come up for air, takeaways, thoughts, one, maybe two of you, of something that landed with you that you needed to hear so far.
Yeah, Chelsea. I have one.
So we'll go Chelsea and then Ella.
So listen to the should I. So like rather than just putting everything off, it's like, well, if you should, then do it now.
If I should, I must. Mm-hmm. Yeah, love that. Ella, and I think Tyler, you had any note? Or maybe not.
Yeah, the fact that we're not here just to work, we're here to really grow and change ourselves, because I've definitely noticed that just by working here.
Yeah.
Like how much I've changed.
Yeah, it's a huge reminder. I had to dig deep. I was even talking to Jeff. I was like, do I push the kids? I mean, do we try to, I was like, man, they don't have power, and I was like, okay, I got to figure out what direction do I take with my people. So I seek counsel. I don't seek opinion. I seek counsel. What's the difference between counsel and opinion? Opinion you could get from anybody on any street corner. Counsel is from someone who's qualified to actually give you direction. So are you seeking opinion or are you seeking counsel? I seek counsel. Just a thought. Was there someone else that had a thought that wanted to echo?
It's sort of kind of like what I'm during this time. You've been sending texts out during this time,
mm-hmm.
and one of them was you sent out the Jack Canfield thing. You sent that out just before the storm.
Oh, you did? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
The video for Jack Canfield. Yeah,
the Jack Canfield thing about looking at your life and what do you really want. Make 101 things and all this kind of business. What do you want to fix and what do you change? And it just was timed right because you're stuck in the house and I started working on the Jack Canfield thing.
Mm.
And I really, it's kind of interesting. I got a lot more out of it. I listened to that video before, but I got 10 times more out of it this time. And I think that the whole business, it's kind of interesting when you started talking about that whole 9/11 and that I was there receiving of patients that were being brought out of the Pentagon.
Mm.
So it was kind of, there's something that happened then and something can happen here in this group, that cohesion that happens when you decide to all use the same, that philosophy.
Yep.
That's what.
And it takes courage to do so.
Oh, absolutely.
It takes courage. We live in a society of people that are willing to follow the norm, like sheep. I don't know about you, but I'm not a damn sheep.
And they're also very self-centered.
And we don't need to conform. We need to stand out and be different. Why? Because at some point in your life, you're going to have a kid that comes home from school and says, Mommy, everybody else was doing blank. You fill it in. Do you want them to conform to what every kid is doing? Probably not. And you could speak from experience and certainty and confidence and say, you know what? That's what it takes to be a leader. I'd rather you not be a part of the in crowd. I'd rather you start your own crowd. That just doesn't happen when you have a kid. Those morals and principles, I had my mom tell me my whole life, do as I say, not as I. Some of you guys have heard that too. How much hypocrisy was I raised in? Not that it's bad, but that's what she knew because she wasn't doing what we were doing now. We have a chance for greatness. I love that. I want to transition into, many of you may have heard this before, but there's been many studies. This one is from the 1970s, where they surveyed individuals who won the lottery in individuals who were paralyzed, either double or quadriplegic or whatever the other double's called. And they surveyed them, they interviewed them, they talked to them. They talked to them right when the incident happened, and they talked to them and interviewed them, some of them 6 months later, some of them a year later. And they surveyed how much happiness and pleasure that they get out of the small things in life. And what was interesting enough is, what do you think it came back as? The way they were before the situation happened is how they were after. Whatever their baseline was before they won the lottery or before they got into their catastrophic accident, that's who they referred back to. So you have to think about, what is your baseline? When things happen in life, good or not so good, what is your baseline that you're going to revert back to? Is it you fill in the blank of angst, worry, depression, burnt out, defeated, overwhelmed? Or is it getting the pleasures out of a joke, getting the pleasures out of a great conversation over a cup of coffee, getting the pleasures out of nature, getting the pleasures out of community? What are the simple pleasures that you could find happiness in, regardless of what the weather is, in this case specifically? That's another good example. Could you find those little pleasures as your baseline and feel good about the things that we do have? I think it was Amanda that said that's like some people complain about not having power. Some people, lost a family member. Some people lost a house. It just depends on what is your baseline. Because no matter what happens in life, good or bad or not so good, you're going to revert back to that baseline anyway. Strengthen it now. Use this as an opportunity to do so. So I wanted to offer you a couple of things of what the best actually do. So these are a couple of takeaways, a couple of tips that the best do, that the rest do not do. So I guess the first question is before I actually give you these tips is, are we ready to move forward? That's a bigger question. It's like, are we ready to move forward? That's question number one. And I guess we could do that as our what's hot, what do we appreciate tonight, is like, are we ready to move forward based upon this opening comments, these statements of what I shared with you today? Are we as a unit ready to move forward? I mean, I guess it's kind of like that peer pressure. Like if someone says no, it's like, what? So it's kind of tough to like say no in this setting. I get that. But I'd really like to know from those of you that are ready to move forward, why? Before I give you the tips, because even if you're not ready to move forward, I give you the tips, it's not going to land. It's not going to land because you're not ready. But for those that are ready, I'd love to hear from you. So I don't need to hear from everyone, but maybe there's one or two or three of you that say, you know what, I'm ready, Mike. Give me the tips because I want to know what the best do. I want to know what the best do, and I'm ready to do those things. If you're not ready, no big deal. Just don't say anything. So who's ready to move forward? So we'll go Tyler, Amanda, we'll go Connor, the three of you specifically. It's like, boom, I got it. Then we'll come over to anybody else. So Chelsea, raise your hand. So we'll go. So we'll go in that order. Yeah, I can't see any of you guys raise your hands, of course.
I mean, I'm totally ready to move forward. I know everyone's in different situations in terms of severity, but the way I see it, what else is there? I mean, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but what else is there to do besides move forward? Like, what's the other option?
I've been ready to move forward. Just it's depressing, this current situation that's been going on. So I just want to get back to normal, get on the right track, better than normal, better than I was before.
Love that. Connor, and then we'll go to Chelsea.
As of last night, I actually wasn't ready to move forward. I sent Trey a text. I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it to the meeting tomorrow night. Like, I got to go help out my family members, clean their yards and put down boards and just check in on them. And then he's like, you know what, it's their only time meeting. I was like, you know what, it is. And so I woke up, told Amanda, I'm going to get the phone jammed done. I'm going to get everything I need to get done. And so I spent the whole day working with my brother. I deboarded my mom's house. I deboarded my dad's house. I checked on relatives. And west of the county and south of the county, just make sure they're okay. And then I got my phone jammed in, I got that done. I was like, all right, well, if I can do all of that, I think I can go to the meeting for an hour tonight and, you know, just do my job this weekend. And so I think, yeah, I'm ready.
Love that.
Yeah, it is.
Kitchen system drop down, baby.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, you were going to say something?
I'm definitely ready to move forward because like right now I haven't really been able to sell like with everything going on, but I'm ready to get like back on my feet and like finally figuring out my schedule. So being able to coach as well as like lead. So.
Yeah, I love that. And it takes courage. It takes courage to move forward. Like, I get it. I mean, believe me, I get it. It's easy to settle into, let's just wait this thing out. It's easy. That's what everyone, you know, it's like, it's fine. You know, there's some people that are not dealing with stuff. They're like, oh, it's an excuse for me not to go into work. Man, there is so, I see it on Facebook. Be like, yep, my power's out too. Can't go to work. You know, there's no gas. I can't go to work. You know, like, they're doing whatever they can to get out of going to work. I'm like, how the hell can we make this work? You know, it's like just different mindset. Anybody else want to share from virtual or local? Trey?
I mean, I have a lot on my plate, but today and yesterday, it was really awkward to kind of take the initiative, go out and start meeting people to try to set things up with. But I've been helping out some other people around my neighborhood with like picking up debris and things like that, and actually making an effort to get to know some of the people that I live around. And I have 4 appointments this weekend.
Love that. Hell yeah. That is really exciting. I love that. And you motivate another kid to come in. Yeah. Love that. Scott, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I also said, like, with this Hurricane Irma situation, so, like, it's kind of, like you said, it's awkward. Everyone's trying to get used to the environment after everything's been affected. But you still have to try. You don't know until you try to book appointments and, like, move forward. Like I'm also ready to move forward. I'm also trying to get some more appointments in. I already got, like, one before this game, this meeting. So, yeah, as long as you try, you don't know. So you gotta always try.
Love it. Love it. Anyone in virtual land? That's
Yeah.
Please. Sounded like Ella.
I don't know. I think someone else was talking too, but
No, I think it was you.
Okay. I just wanted to say, I mean, I'm ready to move forward. I know I took a week off after SC2 to go on vacation, and I totally lost my groove just from a week. I, like, forgot how to do my whole demo, and I was so lost for, like, the next 2 weeks. So, I mean, just keeping up with it, that's, like, the main thing for me, even if it's just, like, a couple virtuals here and there, since people around here aren't really picking up on me right now. Just staying in that and being able to do even better in the push next week.
Yeah, how cool is that? I think about Amanda's story, and Ella stepping up to role play. And you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but Ella stepped up to role play a little bit with Amanda, and Amanda, courageous enough, says, you know what? I know I've sold more than this Ella girl, but man, she is on fire right now. She's knocking down kitchen systems. I'm going to reach out to her and see if she'll give me some time to role play. She reached out to Ella, which is probably humbling in itself. Ella role play with her. Amanda was telling me that she sucks at virtual demos, which was her story. I said, it's the same damn thing. Change the story. She's like, damn it, you're right. Okay, I'll change the story. And then what happened?
I sold the kitchen system.
You sold the kitchen system on a virtual
Heck yeah.
You know, like the power of the human potential is incredible. It is in the room. You just got to buy into it. You got to drink the Kool-Aid, if you will. You know, it's like, and it is what it is. Like, what are we going to do? Like, we're not just going to sulk. Sulking is easy. We're going to take action. I love that. And I'm really proud of you guys because it takes a lot. There are people that chose not to video in. There are people that chose not to be here. And I respect the hell out of you for believing what I believe. Anybody else from virtual land want to chime in?
Yeah. Right here.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry about my voice. I have a flu of 102 degrees right now. But I'm ready to move forward. I've been ready to move forward since I started with Cutco and grow on the personal level and learn whatever I can. Even though I'm Canada and I didn't bring any of my stuff, I messaged Tyler and asked what do I need to do before I come back home, so I can get ready for the next week. And I also asked him to send me some pages for TLA for the book because the books are heavy and I wasn't able to bring it with me. So now I'll be able to read and do my summary and get everything all set and ready to go.
Love it. Love it, man. Thanks for sharing. Feel better. Anybody else want to share before I move on? All right. So what do the best do? Let me give you, there's 5 things that I found from one of the podcasts that I was listening to. What do the best do? And number one, and this is, I think I sent you guys the link for the podcast, Young Hustlers by Grant Cardone. And they said, number 1 is they have goals. The best have goals. When they don't feel like moving forward, they don't feel like doing something, they remind themselves of their goals of why they're doing it in the first place. So pictures, they will they'll print some things out, they'll write them down, they'll revisit why they started doing what they want, whether it was a vacation, whether it was an investment, whether it was a future business you want to own, whether it was a house you want to buy or a car you want to buy, whatever it is. They printed it out, they looked at it to remind, oh yeah, that's right, that's why I'm doing the tough. That's why I'm doing the tough. So that's number 1. They have their goals, remind themselves of their goals. Number 2 is they exercise. They exercise. They get energy. Motion creates emotion. So they exercise to kind of get the endorphins going in their body. So that way they create a different type of chemical reaction in their body to think a little bit more clearly and get out of their head. So exercise, movement, jumping jacks, push-ups, go for a run, something along those lines. Number 3 is they said 2 things. It's kind of a double. They said either have a cup of coffee and go for a walk. I don't know if it was one and the same or if it was together. Maybe you're drink coffee while you're on a walk. I don't drink coffee, so I would just go outside. They said something about being in nature and being in silence. No music, no talking, no conversation, just being alone in solidarity with no distractions. Just sipping your coffee or going for a walk. That's something that can help you quiet the noise. Number 4, they said chat with someone who's winning. Chat with someone who's winning. Kind of aligns with the seek counsel, not opinion. So what I would say is, like, I just posted in the TLA group that Puerto Rico, they don't have power at all. She's running a training. She's doing everything at a Starbucks, Grace in San Juan. She's doing everything. They set up some 50 people for interviews. They're doing everything they can. They're Dom, they're system managers. She corralled this crew to believe what she believes and says, you know what? With great catastrophe comes great opportunity. Let's make this work. People still need jobs. If Starbucks could stay open and run a business, then we should too. It's a pretty awesome way of approaching life, right? So talk to who's winning. So who could you find that's winning in life right now? Winning in the business right now? Those of you guys that are in TLA, you see all these kids posting their SLC push goals. Until maybe 2 hours ago, I saw 0 game changers courageous enough to put a goal out there. Now, that's not a shot at you, but there's a lot of other people that are choosing to win. Message any one of them saying, I don't have a goal yet. I'm not sure what I want to go for. I'm kind of a little stuck right now. Talk to me. Will you have a conversation? Could you give me 10 minutes of your time? I'd like to just talk to you and see how you're winning right now, because right now I'm not. In fact, 3 weeks ago, I'm still in the same place as I was 3 weeks ago. So I got to get out of this. I want to hear what it sounds like to win, right? So talk to someone who's winning. Number 5, last one, is learn something new. Learn something new. Hence what I'm bringing to you tonight. Learn something new. I finished a great book, almost finished. I don't want to toot my own horn and say, I left it in the car, but it's called Winning the Inner Game of Tennis, what the name of the book is. And it was a gift to me. It has everything to do with tennis, but really nothing to do with tennis at the same time. It's just talking about self 1 versus self 2 and how to allow self 2 to show up and quiet the one voice, but listen to the right voice, not the ego voice. And it's a really good book. And I listen to a lot of podcasts. listen, when I say a lot, I listened, I don't know, probably about 3.5, 4 hours of podcast and read like 100 pages in this book. Why? Because when you learn something new, you're excited to teach that to other people. And it gets the brain working in a way where you're excited to teach or implement. Hence what Connor said, man, I was sleeping with Mike the other night and watching him in my bedroom. And he put it in different words maybe, but but he said, after learning this kitchen system thing, I'm really excited to do an appointment. When you learn something new, it creates excitement to implement and to move forward. So what are the five items? What are the 5 action steps that the best do? Is they have their goals and they remind themselves of why they're doing things in the first place. They exercise to get the endorphins going. They go outside or drink coffee if that's your thing with silence. Number 4 is they chat with someone who's winning. And then number 5 is they learn something new. So to kind of tie that together is whatever you're thinking about, you're going to bring about. So whatever you think about, you'll bring about. And I highly encourage you to think about what the best are doing and model the best. Model the best. Any takeaways on that? Any light bulbs? You guys like that? Couple simple action steps that you guys can do.
Yeah, right here. What was it called? It's like surrounding yourself. When you're talking to somebody that's winning, it's like doing your group of influence.
Yeah, the circle of influence. You got it.
Yeah, it's like your circle. It's exactly like your circle of influence, and who you surround yourself with there and who you talk to is who you become. And I noticed that recently, that I completely changed from my circle of influence. So it really helps.
Love that. Love that.
Just to kind of piggyback off of what Mark said about like chatting with winners, if you let yourself get out of touch or like out of communication with the people who are going to not necessarily like tell you what to do, but that are gonna model the actions that you want to take. When you get out of touch with that, you get in your head and you don't get, like, you might get some stuff done, but you're not at full employment.
Yeah, I love that. So let's talk about this. So how do we tie this to the business? How do we tie this to the business? What are action steps that some of you in this room that say, you know what, this is some activity that I'm going to do to produce my results. These are some action steps that between now and, to kind of shift the momentum before the push starts, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. These are some action steps I want to do. Why don't we take 60 seconds real quick, and just more for you than anything. Why don't you take 60 seconds and write down some action steps that you say, you know what, I hear what the best is doing. I understand the business. What are some things some action steps that you can say, you know what, these are some things that could produce results if I put these into action. Maybe it could be to, under the goals thing, maybe it's to create a new goals page, or under the exercise. I just joined a new fitness class. It's called 9 Round, and it's really hard. It's 30 minutes of boxing, 9 rounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's get ripped. So I'm excited about that.
I'm so sorry that I didn't wake up that day.
Yeah, I got inspired, man. It's hard. You can still come as my guest if you want. I'll let you know the next time I go. I'm going to go 3 times a week. Maybe it's maybe some new exercise. Maybe there's 3 people you could target that's winning, that you say, you know what, maybe there's 1, maybe there's 2, maybe there's 3 people that you could get dialogue with. Maybe there's a book. I mean, TLA, we book assignments for you. Christine Molini's book story is heart-wrenching if you haven't read it yet. I mean, that one could definitely offer some perspective. And then there's just the simple stuff, which you already know. Maybe it's top 30 list. Maybe it's, morning phone time. I overheard Connor saying, yeah, I did phone calls in the morning and it worked. It's like, wow, go figure. Something we do all summer long, morning phone time, and actually making some phone calls in the morning actually works, you know, maybe there's maybe it's organization, maybe it's a power hour. I mean, TLA, I mean, you guys have as an assignment to do a power hour. So if you haven't done it so far yet, that's supposed to be done before tomorrow night. So maybe it's important to watch the video and do a power hour planning session for yourself. You know, maybe it's revisiting some of your past customers and getting really excited about Cutco and why people love it so much, and that the positive distraction is worth it. And instead of hearing the noise of, oh, no one wants to be bothered with that, but getting that the breath of fresh air of, I love my knives. They're the best. I heard that all weekend long. My brother, they all use the knives improperly. Every one of them uses it. He picked up the slicer. He's like, this is the best effing knife for my salmon. When I slice my salmon, he holds the slicer up. Like, this is the best for salmon. I'm like, you have a salmon knife, bro. She's like, nah, this thing works great. This is it. This is the one. This is the one, you know? And then there was my brother Barry. He's just like, those knives are the sharpest knives I've ever seen in my life. It's like, I cannot believe how sharp these are. Like, it makes me want to cook. I was like, I love that. He's like, but one dropped on the ground and the tip broke off. I was like, send it back, they'll replace it. He's like, really? Like, yeah, it's guaranteed. He's like, that's incredible. He's like, but it broke on, you know, me dropping it. He's like, I don't care. They'll send it back. He's like, oh, wow. Love that. It's like, that's why they're expensive, but man, they're worth it. And then my sister Audrey chimes in. She's like, I love the white set. She's like, I bought the white and the black to keep kosher. She bought 2 studio sets. She's like, I use the white one all the time because now I'm just straight vegan. And that's what she was saying. So she's like, I have the separate set for dairy and meat, and I don't even eat that anymore. So I just use the white one because they're beautiful. Maybe you just need to hear that a little bit. You know, get juiced up about how awesome the Cutco product line is. And, like, get reminded of how fun the presentation is. Whatever it might be for you. Bless you. It was a little bit more than 60 seconds, but you got to figure out what are the activities that produce your results. We have some people getting it done. We had last week a Focus 500 drawing. Everybody remember who won when we were out dancing? You even said, ooh, he's going to be, it was Connor, yeah. So you didn't even know. So you won the Focus 500 drawing last week for being over $500 2 weeks ago. So the prize, anybody remember what the prize was? It was a bird's beak paring knife. So bird's beak paring knife, which is so cool. So bird's beak paring knife on the on the Cutco underground market. That's a hot commodity. This week is a soft grip cheese knife, and this is going to go to either Ella or Amanda. Now Amanda has 2 entries because she sold over $1,000, and Ella's right over $500, so she has 1 entry. I don't have any raffle tickets, but I will do it. We'll do it here in a moment and figure out who won.
Flip a coin. There's 2 of us.
But you get 2 entries. She only gets 1.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, I have a raffle ticket right here. So this one is for a cheese knife. So Amanda gets 2 tickets, and Ella gets 1. And what I'm going to do for this, until we get our sales moving where I want it to be, I'm going to do $500 for the entire week. Okay, for the entire week. So Ella's already over $1,000, so she already has 2 entries into this. So Ella gets 1, Amanda gets 2. And this is for a soft grip cheese knife. And for those of you guys that didn't see it yet,
Oh, bust it out. Yeah.
check this out.
Oh,
What is it?
oh my God. I know what that is.
Cutco real leather.
Oh,
It's a pad folio,
Damn.
and it has the legal pad. It has a spot for your pen, a spot for your business cards. Has a little pocket there for any papers that you need to put in. Extra pocket there too, and it's real leather, real heavy duty. It has a little button there with the magnet. It says Cutco right on it. This thing's not cheap, so I just bought one to see what it looked like. I was like, this is so damn expensive for just being like a pad folio, but I was like, oh damn, that makes sense. So I was gonna keep it for myself, but I figured you guys might get pretty fired up about it too. So I'm willing to buy more. So I just think about how cool that would be to like do all of your deals and that on your appointments.
Bust it out on.
Just bust it out, man. I just think about how cool that would be. So that's in the Focus 500. So we'll do this somehow.
If you know that you sponsor, I'll let you write them in here. But
Ready? Chelsea, you're gonna pick one.
Okay.
You could bring that to school
But
too.
whoever
and
doesn't
people
win can't
see,
get
like,
mad
how
at
cool
me.
it is.
Ready? So I'm gonna just throw them in the air and you're gonna just grab one.
Okay.
Ready? So is it?
It's Amanda.
Amanda! Soft grip cheese knife. There you go.
Sorry, Ella.
All right. So let me, before we do action steps and wrap up, I want to tell you about the SLC Push Contest. Oh, before I do that, couple of events real quick for your calendars. I put a Facebook event out for PB&J for this Sunday morning, which was a good reminder for me because I didn't know I did it for this Sunday morning. So it's going to be this Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Just so you guys know, TLA is Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. After TLA, I'm going to do a staff meeting at 10 a.m. Because we really need to get some synergy amongst the staff. So if you are our coach or a paid coach right now, just have that in your schedule. Just stick around for, I don't know, maybe 60 minutes, 45 minutes, just to be safe. Because I just have a list of some things that I want to make sure that we cover, okay? SLDM, Jeff Gambo is running a sales leadership development meeting. It's going to be on September 26th, which is a Tuesday night. For those of you guys that attended one during the summertime, you don't attend this one. You've already been to one. But if you've never been to one with Jeff, he might be running it here from my office because I know he's coming to Clearwater during that week. He's either going to come that Tuesday night and run it here, or he's going to come on Wednesday night and be at our team meeting. He wants to see like what each office is doing and like how they're operating and fully functioning, and he's going to fly up here just to like kind of see what we're up to. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, and that's during the SLC push. So it's going to be pretty cool. But it's going to be at 6 p.m. on the 26th. So we'll be meeting here at the office. He's going to discuss advanced recommendations. He's going to discuss advanced selling tips, building rapport tips, goal sharing tips, and also how to advance and get into the MIT program. MIT is Managers in Training. That's what Connor and I, we spoke about in the spring, to position yourself for a part-time small role for next summer. Because TLA, they compete for full-time assistant, branch, district manager. Really, those are the programs that they're competing for, events team. But the MIT is like a very small part-time type of internship role for the summer, for MIT for the spring. So he's going to talk a little bit about that. And so those are a couple of upcoming events that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. If you have any questions, we'll talk. Also, lastly, is Friday morning. I'm going to put my Calendly out. I'm going to want follow-up one-on-one calls with each of you. I'm going to go from 9 a.m. and every 20 minutes all the way until I start training at noon. So I'll be sending that Calendly out. So that way for 20 minutes, I can follow up with each of you and talk a little bit about the action plan that you're going to put together for your SLC push. So for some of you guys that didn't know how to set a goal for the SLC push, this is where I'm going to wrap up with and make sure that we're on the same page with, okay? So SLC is a strategic leadership conference. It's in Washington, D.C. Only managers are invited. So you're not going to necessarily be at the conference taking a trophy on stage, but that's why they throw out a sick contest to motivate you. So instead of being on stage taking a trophy, you win a really, really ridiculous prizes, okay? Outside of the prizes, to align with everything we're talking about tonight, it's really just the principles of getting stuff moving. Use this push. Some of you just need this push as an excuse to get in front of customers. Some of you need this push to go from where you are right now to go a little bit more, just a little bit more. Some of you guys are in that $500 range. Use this as an opportunity to get to the $1,000 a week, $1,200 a week. Some of you guys are already selling $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week. Use this as a chance to compete. Be one of the top in the region, move your matrix score, be one of the top in division, and win some ridiculously cool prizes. So I just want you to know this is the first push of the fall, one of two. The other one is going to be Olean Push, which starts at the end of October. This is like your SC1. It's a little bit smaller. It's 2 weeks. It's based on tabs from Tuesday. So the date starts on Tuesday, September 19th, next Tuesday, and it goes all the way to October 2nd. So Tuesday, September 19th to October 2nd. So now TLA, you guys have a prep on September 26th, which is a Saturday. And that's going to, or not the 26th, I'm sorry, the 23rd. The 23rd, the hub for that TLA prep is going to be in Tampa at Carlos's office. So we had our last hub here. He's going to be hosting the next hub, which is going to be in Tampa at Carlos's office, just so you guys know. I'll let you guys know again on this Saturday TLA, but that's going to be next Saturday, the 23rd. So we will not have a local TLA. We'll have a divisional TLA next Saturday. But anyway, so just kind of keep that in mind when you're putting your plan together, because you lose a Saturday of the push for selling, but you gain the Saturday of momentum and, obviously everything that a prep does for you. So level one, pretty simple level, $1,500. Two things that can sell $750 a week for 2 weeks. That's 2-3 orders. 2-3 orders, call 3 orders a week. So it's a total of 6 orders over the course of 2 weeks. 6 orders, 2 weeks. The region is going to buy you a traditional cheese knife. Traditional cheese knife for free. Just so you know, in your fast start contest to win that knife, you had to sell $7,500 to win that knife in your fast start. And we're going to give it to you for free for selling $1,500. You guys like that? That is a gimme level. Every single one of you and every person on our team needs to go for $1,500. Next level, $3,000. $3,000 is a pretty awesome item. That is how many orders a week? That would be a total of, so $1,500 a week, $1,500, about 6 sales, 5 orders, we'll call it. So about 10 sales over the course of 2 weeks. 10 sales, 2 weeks. Company is, and the region is going to buy you a Big Daddy hunting knife. So Tyler has the hunting knife right there. This is the deluxe hunting knife. It's a $190 item. They're going to hook you up with a Cutco hunting knife. Now, here's what's cool about the hunting knife. When you have it, some people sell that as something called the deluxe steak knife. So for some people, they'll get a set of 8 of those and use that as a steak knife at their dinner table, calling it the deluxe steak knife. Yeah.
And it comes in white.
And you get it in white, yeah. So that thing is, that thing's pretty awesome. So I believe you get both. I believe you get both at those levels. You guys ready for the next level? This is the level that if you guys want to go for it, I highly encourage it. Okay, you ready? $5,000. Now, $5,000 is, I mean, it's doable. If you're in school, it's gonna be tough. But if you're not in school, I mean, it's a gimme. It's a gimme level. You'd really have to set up a plan for this. But you sell $5,000, the region and the company is gonna buy you a brand new red kitchen companion set.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In red.
In red, kitchen companion set, the brand new set that just came out. And just a reminder, that's a galley set, but it comes with the cheese knife and the super shears instead of a turning fork and a spatula spreader. That's what it is. Plus 6 table knives in the red. You get one of those for free. Talk about a pretty hot Christmas gift this year. Yeah, plus 6. Is that pretty hot? You guys like that? $5,000. That's a pretty cool one, right? No hype. I mean, I don't even have to hype this up. When I saw it, I was like, oh, damn, that's pretty exciting. You sell $7,500, you have a choice. You could either get the kitchen companion set in red, or the company in the region is going to buy you the entire 60-piece stainless flatware chest.
Stop.
Damn.
No.
Yo. Yo, that is over $2,000 retail. The whole thing, and not just not the sample set. You get all 60 pieces. So you get all 60 pieces.
Wait. So if you sell $7,500, you have a choice.
You have the
of
choice.
That
The kitchen companion set or the 12-piece flatware set. You guys ready? $10,000, you get both automatically.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Dude, that is like a $1,000 set of knives and a $2,000 set of flatware. You're talking $3,000 worth of Cutco. You sell $10,000 for this push. Now put that in perspective. At SE2 selling $10,000, you want a hearty slicer.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
That was it. You got a hearty slicer worth of Cutco. At I mean, they didn't even throw out $3,000 worth of Cutco during SC2. You sell 20 grand, you win like $1,500, $1,100, $1,200 in cookware. Like, but they didn't give you this. You guys like this? It's attainable. It's attainable. It's challenging. I'm not saying it's challenging. It's attainable. And with a plan, and now that you have some benchmarks to shoot for, you can at least create your plan according to a level that you can get excited about. So just so you guys can see the levels, they're there. So what I want from each of you before you leave today is I'd like to know two things. I'd like to know, you can just rip out a blank sheet of paper and write this on this for me. I don't have like formal half sheets here. You could use the back of these if you want. Just take one of those. And if you want to rip one in half or whatever, fine. But what I want on this is, and what I want each of you that are listening at home is you could WhatsApp me directly, just to me directly. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know if you guys do that. I don't think about it. One of y'all would just WhatsApp me directly. Yeah. If you want to write it down and take a picture of it, that's fine. Or if you just want to type it out, that's cool. But what I want you to do is I want two things from each of you. I want number one is what is your momentum plan between Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the next 5 days to build momentum before the push actually starts. That's number one. And then number two is what level are you going to shoot for and how many appointments do you think that's going to take you? So what level do you want to shoot for? How many appointments is it going to take you? And then what we'll do is on our call, like I'll set up my schedule where we could have a call either Friday morning or Friday night, because Thursday tomorrow is going to be tough because of training. I have a divisional conference call from 9 to noon. Then I have a call with Scott Dennis from noon to 1, training 2 to 8:30. So tomorrow's stacked up. So it's got to be Friday. I have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have availability for 8 calls, and then maybe Friday night I could do 1 or 2. How many of you are 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? So there's 12 of you. I'll find a way to fit you guys in. In fact, what would really help out if there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if there's 4 of you, then maybe I can knock out tonight. If you're not like in a rush to get home, I don't know if that's the case at all, but Lynn's that time anyway. So that could be ideal. Or if you're like, Mike, let's just knock this out tonight while you're here, and we can just put your plan together. That's an idea. If not, I'll find the time for you guys. So what I want, momentum plan for the next 5 days. So you guys you already send this out to me? You sent it already?
Put it in the TLA.
Just send it to me directly
Oh,
if you can.
no, the one's over there.
Oh, okay. If you guys could do this now, that'd be great, just so that way we don't forget. What is your momentum plan for the next 5 days? What is your goal for the SLC push? How many appointments do you think that's going to take you? And that way I can strategize with you and putting a plan together and putting it in place. And when I say momentum plan, I'd like for you to include in that, like whether it's looking at more phone numbers, how many phone numbers you have, organizing your phone numbers you currently have, reaching out to past customers, any of the action steps, like what the best do, any of that, like mindset stuff, if you need any of that right now. I just want you to have a conversation with me to start the conversation for me to support you to the best of my ability. And then I want to really coach you through this, just like I did for SC2 for many of you. Because I really believe that the individuals in this room are what's going to steer the ship in the right place. Not that there's a couple of all-star game changers that are in the room right now that are not present, but the fact is if they're not here, they didn't feel what you felt. They didn't get the full effect. And I really want to position the new recruits that we're going to recruit tomorrow. I have training tomorrow, and I want to raise them in a healthy environment. And I want next week's team meeting to be fantastic. With 100%. That's going to be our first real team meeting of the fall, where everyone's here, full attendance, new group, and we can like do the whole high five, the tunnels thing. We can have official phone jam. Like we can get that culture where we want it to be next Wednesday night. So, other than that, let's do a quick round of what do you appreciate right now, and what are you most excited about right now, compared to like where we started, where you're at now? What do you appreciate? What are you most excited about? So we'll do the people that are live first, and then we'll go to the virtuals, and then I'm just gonna wrap up with a quick video. So we'll go Tyler, Amanda, Trey, and then we'll go to Scott, Connor, Brenda, and then we'll go to Chelsea, and then we'll go to the virtuals. So what do you appreciate now, and what are you most excited about?
I really appreciate having some appointments ahead of me so I can just, move forward into action. And I mean, this contest is just so sick. I've never seen an SLC push with such sick prize levels.
I agree.
Not even close.
I agree.
I agree with Tyler. I appreciate to have a couple appointments ahead of me to get this moving forward, and I'm psyched about the push. Those prizes are crazy for sure. Makes me want to sell more.
Love it. Trey?
I'm excited to get more time with some of those people that I met. They were really thankful for me to help them out. So I think it'll definitely help with sales momentum and just creating like stronger relationships.
Love it. Scott, and then Scott, Connor, Brenda?
I already got a couple of appointments and excited for the contest with the prizes and all that, so that's motivating as well.
Love it.
Those prizes are sick.
That is pretty sick.
It's cool.
I really appreciate being in this work environment because without it, I probably wouldn't be as driven as I am. And I am just appreciative for the team and the group, and not only Blue Team, but really just the whole office in general. It's great to just be kind of like, you said, raised up in this just really competitive, but also healthy and just inspiring environment. And I'm looking forward to the appointments I booked up earlier. I got big goals that I want to hit for this week, and I know I can do it.
Love that. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. I think about the 25-year-old version of you, or even the 21 or 22-year-old version of you. Like, it's just so exciting. That's what excites me. Really excites me. Brenda, and then Chelsea?
I'm really excited about first of all, I'm never competitive. That's not me. But I have been obnoxious doing competitive stuff and telling people, we want to win. I want the fucking cup. You can make
Chelsea's little sister is here.
Oh, that's your sister? Yeah. Someone new.
She's never heard those words before. She doesn't listen to like modern music.
So I have a plan that I'm trying to get to there. So it's not me, but I feel this. I think we can do it, and I want to do it.
I love that. And I want to do it for you guys. Because what it's going to take for us to win it, it's going to take a lot of inner strength, camaraderie, corralling, recruiting, team building, and a lot of you guys got to, sell a lot of knots, in order for us to have a shot at it. And that's what I'm excited about. A trophy, what do we use that trophy for? Pong shots? Raffles? It's a trophy. But what it sets us up for,
I'm not talking about the object.
it's exciting.
I'm talking about what it means.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we had the champagne deal.
We do have a champagne deal. All right, we'll do a toast. Chelsea, and then we'll go to Ella, Mark, and whoever else is still virtual with us.
I'm excited to see how much I can push myself with everything I got going on. I'm also just really excited to be here and help guide my team that's following me and help lead by action and not just words.
Love it. Love it. Ella, Mark, and then whoever else is still out there, maybe it's Abs, and I'm not sure who the other person is.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I really like the tips you used earlier, like going for a walk in complete silence or drinking a cup of coffee, having that time to debrief and just think to yourself. I'm going to start definitely doing that because I know I don't really go anywhere without my phone. And then definitely my goal for SLC push, I knew it was going to change as soon as you said the contest. So I already bumped it up even more. So I'm excited for a little more of a challenge.
Love it. Love it. And then we'll go, I see Mark, and then I see 2 phone numbers that I don't know who they are.
So I appreciate all the coaching and everything that we got over today. And I'm super excited for this SLC push. Even though it's going to be difficult to get to where I want to go, I'm still going to push hard and take all the tips in and go back to the basics on what I need to do.
Love it. Love it. And who are the other 2? Maybe Abs and Allison? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Abs. So I'm excited for basically everything. I like the talk about the unity but the thing that got my attention was those prizes. That certainly woke me up. So once I get back in the game, I feel like those prizes are going to be very motivational.
Good. We need that. We need that. This company stepped up for sure. Yeah, we need another emotional breakdown from Abs. That's what we need. That's where you rise up. And who's the last person?
Oh, it's Allison.
Allison.
Hey, I'm definitely excited to have the people that we have around us, like, and me, kind of to get me back on track with like going to school and everything that happened. So I'm excited for that, and then the contest, and then that motivating me to push myself during the push.
Love it. Love it, guys. Well, I appreciate all of you, and what I appreciate is I appreciate you giving me, an hour and a half or so of your Wednesday night during this craziness, and I've been traveling since I got dropped off at the train station at 11:45 today, and took 2 trains and stops in between, and calling trainees in between, and having a call with Scott Dennis, and spoke to the region, and getting right off the plane at 6:30, and then just driving here, and I definitely wouldn't want to do anything else on my Wednesday night, really. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys, and what I'm excited about is looking back on this meeting tonight, where we say that was the turning point. That was the point where we flipped the switch as a team, where we got united as one, as a unit, and said, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to make this run for that million, for that silver cup. We're going to do it together, and I can't wait. I'm very excited for it. So I'm going to wrap up with this video. You may have seen the movie We Are Marshall. So it's a really fantastic movie. So we're going to wrap up with that video clip. So let's go ahead and play this.